Dice Company contains fantasy violence, mature themes, and unapologetic bickering. No feelings were hurt in the making of it, but listener discretion is advised. Dice Company will always be free, but it's not free to make. Please consider supporting us on Patreon or Apple Podcasts and get access to our weekly roundtable show Extra Roll. Just follow any of the links in the show notes for this chapter.
Once the Valley of Misery was anything but its name. To the Firbolg, it was home, carved from the heart of Athlon, where non-humans found peace beneath the Empire's scorn. They called it misery to mock them, but the name endured, a badge of quiet defiance. Now, that peace lies buried. The sons of Kale, iron-hearted and tireless, have claimed the land, their drills and claws gnawing at the earth in search of Ethereum, the metal strong enough to survive an ascension ritual. At their head marches Torren, the first of a new line of automatons, a shadow vanguard, and the Empire's will made steel. Below the soil, the Firbolg endure, caught between the machines above and the dark that hungers below. In misery, freedom is a memory, and the ground itself trembles with what's yet to be unearthed. Previously on Small Embers.
Query, is Vander afflicted? Query, how would we tell? What are the symptoms in humans? What of Petren? What of Benny?
And now we come to it, do we not?
Says Vander, his cane spinning idly on the ground in his hand.
It brings me no joy, my friend, to tell you that you are afflicted. In the same way that I am afflicted, and all Rojan are. You are dying.
It was one of the great tricks of the Rojan, was it not? Approach the young, the vibrant, tell them of their powers, and subtly get them to use those powers, and thereby speed the infection that already coursed through their veins. How intoxicating it was in those early days when I was the blade itself. I read of the affliction in the books of the Library of Roanoke. There it made clear that all tyros were selected because they already suffered, victims, in one sense. The Roja knew what they were doing when they trained us, and they knew what our end would look like once we had mastered our arts. So yes, Tok, I am dying.
Query, Vander, you have knowledge of Benny's fate.
You remember that when we left the library I learned of something. Something I said could change everything.
You appeared mad, Vander.
I would suggest I appeared more desperate than mad, for I had learned something I thought previously to be impossible. A person with the gift who didn't suffer from its afflictions. I first noticed this in the earliest days of our meeting. Small improvements in my condition. Subtle healing. My sight returning. My touch more nimble than it had been in years. It took some time to realize that happened when I was in proximity to Benny. When I said he was the one, what I meant was, he was the only one not to suffer as the rest of us will. Imagine, if you will, Tok, what the Emperor would do if he was to lay his hands on such a person.
I do not wish to imagine, Vander.
A terrible sight, it's true. But that is what I meant when I said Benny is the one. For myself, I, for a time, did not bemoan my fading from this world. Some would regard it as rather inconvenient that I have recently found a reason to continue. And now I find myself splinched. I don't want to die anymore, Tok. I want to win, and I want to return to Morticia. That is what I want.
And that is what we will do, my friend. Gideon claps you on the arm. Quick question. Who's Benny?
Ah,
And Vander turns back to Gideon.
if my calculations are correct, your son.
My son. Fabian.
What? No, that. Hang on, Augustus was Fabian, but he was your grandson. And then, didn't you have another? Didn't you say you had another son called Fabian, and now there's another son? Because I've heard of Benny. The others talk about Benny. He sounds like a wonderful chap, actually. From the stories they tell, he sounds like the best of all of us.
I don't know, Petren. I think they said he's got webbed feet.
Right, and so I know I'm metagaming a little bit.
Metagaming! Welcome one and all to Dice Company's Small Embers Chapter 88, where a group of friends weave tales of triumph, heroism and despair under the guise of playing Dungeons and Dragons. My name is Tom, and I'll be your DM for the continuing adventures of the Order of the Heron. Order of the Heron, please introduce yourselves and tell us one fun fact about your characters.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm playing Seeksorrow. And Seeksorrow's fun fact this week is going to unravel the mystery of the beer coming from the crow's nest. Now, Tok gave Seeksorrow a tankard that produces an unlimited amount of beer, and it's activated by a word. And Seeksorrow wanted a word that made sense, fit in on the sterling, and that word is alarm. The unintended consequence of which, of course, is that every time there's a panic on the sterling, beer pours out of the crow's nest.
We're all going to drown.
In the sky.
Bought a boat in the sky. We have a risk of drowning.
Hello, I'm Dave, and I play Petren Oakflower. And Petren was appalled about the bleeding chess set that Tok created. So Vander will have been surprised that Petren asked recently to borrow it, claiming he wanted to teach himself dragon chess, but Petren has not been teaching himself dragon chess. Petren has recognised the seriousness of the situation that they are in, going into a war zone. And Petren has been sitting alone with the chess set, and he has been taking pieces. Namely, he's been trying out, see how it feels when Tok gets cut down, when Vander gets cut down, when Seeksorrow gets cut down, and when he gets cut down himself. Just curious to know how that feels and if he can cope with it.
Dark.
So dark.
That it's anatomically correct though, because of Tok's, obsession with detail.
Yeah.
My God.
Jeez. I'm actually stunned into silence. I don't know what to say to that.
It's the only one who understands the gravity of the situation we're in. Apart from maybe Al, because,
Is now a good point to mention that when Vander, not that it actually is relevant to Shaggy's fact, but when Vander did a little bit of magic on Augustus's piece, that magic is so Augustus alone doesn't bleed when he falls.
Yeah,
so the rest of them do,
nice.
copiously.
Yes, they do. Vander is not equally fair of these things, but he felt that was worth doing. So, not that Petren will know. He's busy killing all his friends.
Yeah, no, not.
See if it feels good or not.
No.
Hashtag
to
Petren.
to see if it feels good or not. I'm sure
that's
I feel
how it
slightly
came across.
misrepresented.
If Petren
Trying
starts
to see if he got
suggesting-
kicks out of seeing his friends cut down in cold blood.
This is fun.
starts suggesting wildly dangerous plans.
Petren is trying to see if he can handle the upcoming situations which have the capacity for
Meanwhile,
terrible things to
Cuthbert
happen.
sitting on his shoulder saying, "Do it, do it."
Oh, crumbs.
Hi, I'm Harry, and I play Tok, an imposing 6'8" automaton.
Hey.
And Tok has a question for the rest of the crew. In this world, is it the fate of sentient creatures to be controlled like puppets by the hands of the gods, or by natural law? What if the gods' hands are severed, a steam runner with tracks broken? At least it is obvious that we can have no control, even over our own will.
Oh, more darkness.
Who wants to take that one?
I'll reply in writing within 13 days.
We take a break for a few weeks and everyone goes super dark.
Hey, that wasn't
Seeksorrow
necessarily dark.
brought infinite beer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. And drowning.
drowning, yeah. So what help me out. I'm going to get ahead of your fact this time rather than waiting for extra roll. Help me out with that one. He's concerned about the control that the gods have over the fate of mortals.
And the implications for free will,
Good lord. Okay.
since they're going to
Fair
battle,
enough.
you know.
Yeah.
But you don't need to worry about this because God's hands are severed, apparently. So we're all good.
Wow.
Yeah. My God. Well, I'm going to carry things on. Hi, I'm Charlie, and I play Vander Finnick. And fun disclosure before my fun fact, I didn't know the others were going this dark. Okay, so I'm going to try and swivel my fact somewhat. But unfortunately, it does come from the Little Book of Pain. I have completed entries 98 through to 128. DM. Choose two numbers at random, and I will give you the entries for those days.
Give me 100.
Tok asked how I was feeling today. I replied, consistent. He congratulated me on achieving stability. I congratulated him on missing the point. He missed that too, and I was reminded that there are worse things than pain.
Give me 107.
And 107, nice and short one. I've begun to squeak when I walk. Bloody annoying.
It's just the Rat King behind him, just providing audio effects.
It's probably worth a shoulder check, isn't it, that one?
Phenomenal.
And as I've sat down to this, I kept my envelope closed until the start of recording. I've just opened my Seeksorrow ShelbyKat dice,
Beautiful, isn't it?
which are absolutely amazing. It's so cool to open something that's based on Dice Company like this. It's really cool, this big one look with like little axes inside. I realise the word look is not great for podcast listeners.
You've got the gleam in your eye of that person at the start of Aladdin, you know, where he's trying to obviously sell the lamp, which is fitting because these are magical dice. So I like it.
Yeah,
The diamond
super
in the
cool.
rough.
Tok has a chunk also.
Yes, indeed. I literally just got it this morning. It is geode dice.
Amazing.
So it is the old Tok dice with like it's got bits of wood and little gears inside it and some light leaves, but it's now cut through as a geode.
Very cool.
It does look really beautiful.
Well, there you are, everyone. Check out ShelbyKat's dice. Link is in the show notes.
I've
Although
now got
warning,
a second ShelbyKat sticker on my laptop.
And while you're in the show notes, don't forget to check out the Discord, the greatest TTRPG Discord server there is. Sign up to our Patreon if you'd like to listen to early releases of episodes, as well as Extra Roll, our continuing roundtable discussion of all things Small Embers campaign. Check us out on Bluesky and TikTok and YouTube.
Just making it up.
We are on those things, I promise.
It doesn't sound very convincing. Also, I should say at this point, absolutely loved the segue. I think proof that if you really want to drive this clown car, you have to be agile as fuck, because that was excellent. until you completely lost it when you got into your script. A known weakness of ours.
The problem is I didn't script this part. I didn't write it down because I completely forgot. And yeah, but definitely, if you want to support us, if you really want to support us, sign up to our Patreon.
There are ways.
The free tier is great. You don't even have to pay anything. Just sign up. Makes our numbers look great. We love it.
Ah, the desperate cell. Always a welcome visitor.
Right. You don't like my selling? Going forward, we're going to get each of you to pitch the Patreon to the listeners.
His secret move, the segue.
We'll take it in turns, and you guys can soundscape it, audio design it, however you want. You want to do a musical? We'll do that. If you want to just read a sad monologue, we can do that as well. Whatever you think is the best. And whoever gets the most free and above subscribers to our Patreon on week of release is the winner. And they get a special prize. I will
declare now and here, reversing those two phrases unprobably, that I will be the best. I'm sure that's
musical it is.
Unprobably.
Oh, God. I withdraw my comments.
Who's first up?
The first person to do it, we will determine via dice roll, because we are still pretending to be a D&D podcast. I mean, we are still a D&D podcast. Right. We're going to do it alphabetical first name. I'm going to roll it now, and the winner is 3. Al, Charlie, Dave.
Right. Good.
You're first up, so prepare yourself.
I was born ready.
Born ready.
But are you ready now?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. Well, then hit it.
And please remember, I was born ready. That's the whole
But are
quote.
you ready now?
So let's turn the page on the next chapter of Dice Company.
Absolute shambles.
The problem is, when I go first, I'm going to boost all the numbers to an extent that you'll get the...
To an extent that there'll be no people on Earth left to join the Patreon.
I will still claim the victory, of course, through strange maths, but I do bid you to try.
The strange maths of just refusing the facts.
Aliens and glass balls are.
Is that maths?
Belief, Al. It's stronger than maths.
Belief is not stronger than maths. You go on your belief-based aircraft, and I'll go on the maths-based one. Maybe we're going into a dangerous road here.
Yeah, especially because our aircraft is technically powered by an air elemental.
Yes.
Magic.
Maths.
So let's turn the page on the next chapter of Dice Company. Previously on Dice Company Small Embers. The Order of the Heron have released Gideon Octavius Zeno Donothelian, former king and grandfather to their now deceased teammate Augustus, from stone. Decamping from the Gravedigger back to the Sterling, they continue their discussion of the slew of revelations about the Donothelian family, the curse of the Rojan, and their impending death, while thoughts drift towards their ex-teammate Benny Quez and his role in the grand story.
Is everyone called Fabian? I'm very confused now, Vander.
Only those of this line. Hence, I believe that they are connected. It's not certain, of course. I believe Benny's mother was Clara. Gideon, your story mentioned a certain fondness for her, if I detected your tone correctly.
Indeed.
A union?
Indeed.
Then a child, says Vander, triumphant in his logic.
My son is alive. My son is alive. Happy day, my son is alive! And he begins to jump around and punch the air. We must find him! Where is he?
His location is unknown to us.
Well, then we should look. What are we waiting for?
A battle.
Do we need everyone for the battle?
It is likely that we need everyone for the battle.
You see the excitement drain away slightly, although it's still there bubbling beneath the surface. What, I see. It is important, but I've spent my entire life avoiding my family. I do not wish to avoid them anymore. Knowing that my son is still out there, we should find him.
Your son is out there somewhere, it's true, Gideon, but he is, like the rest of us, in the most mortal danger. We are not the only ones to have detected, I suspect, that Benny is special. I am aware of a gentleman that goes by the name Cypher, but one I believe is truly Joseph. Someone you will know intimately. I believe he is searching for Benny.
Then more reason to go after him.
More reason to win the battle here, so we may win the battle there. Gideon, you are not the only one amongst us who has loved ones to return to.
You see him desperately looking from face to face, looking for support from anyone. Do you all agree? Do you all wish to go to battle?
Well, I don't know if any of us want to go to battle, but I think we've made a commitment to the Furbolgs of Misery and the elves of the Forest of Lanasil and the people of this land. I think it's too late to back out of that now. Seeksorrow, what do you think?
Well, yeah, my mum's in Frost Hollow, and the further I go away from her, the more I wonder if it makes sense. But I think if I turn for home now, the trouble's going to come to me in the end.
I also agree. I wish to find Benny as well, but personal is not the same as important. The battle is necessary.
Everyone give me a persuasion check.
I'm going to ask for advantage because I think I put a quite compelling case together.
Well, I mean, could we argue that we're assisting Vander more than...
Yeah, we can do that if you guys want to assist Vander to give him advantage.
Doc is much happier assisting Vander than rolling himself.
Okay, then yes, you can have an advantage.
It's a 26 from Vander.
Way.
You're a leader of men, Gideon. If there was ever a time where one was needed, that time is now.
I'm no leader. But I can't deny your arguments. You all have people and things that you love back home, and you are sacrificing those things, as the Rojan once did, to fight against tyranny. I will join you.
And you are most welcome. As is the timing of your revelation, I suspect.
Vander says, looking over to see Bellerophon skittling towards him. Bellerophon crawls up Vander's robes and then licks his ear, but clearly that's also communication.
Gross.
It is as I suspected, gentlemen. The skies are clear, and misery is in sight.
Then we should plan.
And plan quickly.
I have procured a map of the subterranean passages under Misery. They are a potential fortress, Vander.
Indeed, and with the weight of broadside of our combined ships, the sensible thing would be to stand off at range and pummel the town to bits. Though I suspect Petren will be aggrieved at such a stratagem.
Well, you're quite right, Vander. You've interpreted my feelings quite perfectly there. I don't think pummeling to bits is the right thing to do at all.
I'm in agreement.
Then perhaps we could blockade the town and demand their automaton leadership present themselves for discussions.
How does one blockade automatons? They don't need supplies.
They have lost their fleet, and I suspect they will not enjoy our threat of pummeling their town to bits.
Incorrect, Vander. A tunnel system would be resilient to our efforts.
It would still be most infuriating. I assume they trundle out of the tunnels for resources often.
They will benefit from a delay. Time is on the Empire's side. Salazar will return. A lengthy siege is impractical. The rebellion must strike now.
Then perhaps a show of force and dig the knife in quietly while we do so. A small excursion into the town while we blockade the outer edges of it, perhaps.
I would find that to be acceptable.
So it's a pummeling, but it's a bluff pummeling. Is that right? Have I understood that correctly?
Yes, all my plans are at some level a bluff, Petren.
A ruse de guerre!
seems to be a strange voice in my head, Vander says, clearing his thoughts for a second.
That was Gideon.
Oh, sorry. It was Gideon. All right, sorry.
Yes, indeed, Gideon, quite so. A small group could infiltrate the town and perhaps make their way into the catacombs. We would need for there to be at least the possibility of us disabling automatons down there. Is there something we may find that would enable such an act?
Yes, Vander. I will prepare sledgehammers for the crew.
I see,
Says Vander, looking at Tok, askance.
I was thinking of something more subtle than a sledgehammer.
You should have been more specific, Vander.
As ever, Tok, I would require that you consider your many contraptions for something perhaps we could detonate, or otherwise use to disable automatons en masse.
Query, Vander, is a detonation more subtle than a sledgehammer?
No, that's an interesting question. Quite the hypothetical.
I would find both to be acceptable.
Then I choose the latter. We need a bomb, Tok, a large bomb. Could I make it any clearer?
Vander says, his voice going up in register ever so slightly.
I believe you have, Vander. I will prepare a large bomb.
Excellent.
Sounds more like a real pummeling than a bluff pummeling.
Well, I think the idea, Petren, is that we bluff pummel from outside and then real pummel from inside.
Quite so.
Oh,
It's certainly a very pummely plan.
I will additionally prepare a means of a stealthy insertion for the away party.
Intriguing. I will look forward to hearing the details at the very last possible moment. Petren, you appear to wish to fight a war in which nobody dies. I suggest you acquaint yourself with the realities of our situation.
well, I understand that there are very tangible risks in a warfare situation. I just think we can't just, if you open your locker and all you've got is an enormous box of hammers, then everything looks a bit like a nail, doesn't it? And I'm concerned that that's the direction that we take, that's all.
And luckily for you, Petren, I am so much more than hammers.
Well, bombs as well, I suppose.
And a flintlock.
Quite so, but in this case, I am referring to your furbog friend. Someone with insider knowledge of the town. Someone aboard our very fleet, and potentially a means by which we can gain the trust of the inhabitants. While we blockade from outside and explode from below, we can persuade from within and potentially save lives.
Well, actually, Vander, that seems like quite a good idea. Getting Barilla's impressions and her knowledge. This is my concern, you see. We've got an enslaved furball population within the town, and I just want to make sure they aren't casualties of what we do.
We must thread the needle, Petren. We must show the automatons that we will take life with wild abandon in order that they don't imagine they can use the furbogs as a shield. Meanwhile, we must find a way to destroy the automatons utterly and, if possible, protect our furbog friends from forthcoming.
I think I'd like you to take the "if possible" out of that sentence, Vander.
It's war, Petren. We can only do our best.
No, I disagree there, Vander. The war is for the purpose of helping people. If we just have the war and we don't help the people we're trying to help, then there's no point in doing the war, is there?
Petren is correct. The furbolgs would be a valuable asset, Vander.
Indeed.
And we don't want to be kings of a graveyard, Vander.
And I hope we won't be. But, as I say, this is a war. Risks must be taken. I think the plan is a sound one. And we should put ourselves to it before we lose the advantage of time.
And then we find Benny.
Agreed. Query. Gideon, there is an additional individual I wish to find. The fate of Engram, the Rojan Council member.
I haven't seen Engram since before my imprisonment. As I understand it, the Citadel has fallen. I presume he was killed during that period.
Additional query. The Overross, to your knowledge, is he afflicted by the rot?
I believe he is. He certainly had the temperament of someone who was inflicted with the rot.
So Tok just pauses for a little while there as he learns that his, god is dying.
But fear not, automaton. We are all dying in a way, and we must make the best of the time that we have, and hopefully find a cure.
You are wise, Gideon.
I'm really not, but thank you. It
I was
sounds
really
like
tempted to say you're as wise as Augustus. No.
well, it sounds like we have a plan. We should get to work.
To our ships then, boys. I'll give the orders.
Vander says with relish as he begins shambling from the room.
And claret for all.
Query, what is claret?
It is a fine red wine.
Tok turns to Seeksorrow and says, Captain, I have a means of wine production. And Tok takes from a, looks like a small compartment in his armor and passes a small bottle to Seeksorrow. He says, I have made adaptations for the human sense of disgust, Seeksorrow. This bottle will produce wine.
Seeksorrow takes the bottle, looks at it, and hands it to Gideon and just goes, here you go, mate. He doesn't want the wine.
And with a pop, the cork comes out the top, the stopper, and he takes a deep swig. What is he drinking?
It is technically wine.
No, I'm asking you, Harry.
Standards
what
drop
is it?
after 20 years of statue, isn't it?
It's been created by the alchemy flask, which literally just says it makes wine. So it has made wine. I imagine it is basic, like wine that meets the technical definition of being wine.
You know what, Tok? This is piss water, but it is wine. So thank you. Honestly. A live sun and wine. What a time to be alive.
Updating definition of wine to include piss water.
Please don't talk.
Quite right. With the party otherwise engaged, Cuthbert and Little Tick are below decks on the Sterling, running around and causing mischief.
I don't like this, Tick. It's damp and dark, and something down here smells ambitious.
I sense that is the rat smell, Cuthbert.
I think you might be right.
There is a skittering noise, and a dozen eyes blink from the shadows. A chorus of breathing, soft squeaks, and tiny claws on metal. From within the darkness, a shape stirs. A thick-bodied rat with a crown and wiry whiskers hobbles from the mass.
Little things, scurrying things. The child and the weasel beast. I smelled your footsteps coming down the ladder.
You've got a good nose, rat!
I have many.
The sound of hundreds of tails dragging in unison fills the room.
Charmed, I'm sure. Though I must say, you have a peculiar way of receiving guests.
Guests are for dinner rooms. I prefer meetings down here.
You are the Rat King! I have heard of you.
I'm glad. I'd like to talk. And to trade. What do you think about this?
And he presents a small velvety object.
Is that a hat?
A hat of some refinement, yes. Made by hands that never washed and minds that never slept. It can call upon lesser creatures. I reckon you'd look rather distinguished in it.
Cuthbert straightens up and proudly puffs out his chest.
I do enjoy refinement. Though I should ask, what precisely does one do to earn such couture?
Nothing you weren't already doing. Watching, listening, remembering.
You are describing a spy!
Such an ugly word. I prefer sharing secrets. There are whispers that Vander Finnick is stirring things above deck, pulling strings not his to pull. I need to know if those strings lead back to me.
Cuthbert considers the Rat King gravely.
Vander? The little one with the temper and the boots. He frightens even the shadows.
Exactly. He must be watched. Closely.
Cuthbert is good at hiding!
I am exceedingly competent at subterfuge. There was only one incident with the biscuit tin and the captain's socks.
You got crumbs in every pocket!
They were decoys. A tactical error.
You two are delightful. Yes, yes. I think you'll serve me very well.
Query! You'll give him the hat?
A deal is a deal.
And the Rat King pushes the tiny top hat forward. Black silk, a faint shimmer of enchantment. Cuthbert lowers his head. Tick picks it up and sets it neatly atop his brow. You look like a gentleman beast!
I rather do, don't I?
An agreement. You watch and listen, and when the moment comes, you tell me everything?
We have a deal.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to seeing you again.
And the Rat King disappears into the black shadows as the chittering fades.
Tick. Do you think we did the right thing just then?
No, Cuthbert! But we do have a good hat!
Mischief and fashion, my dear Tick. The world could do with a bit more of both.
Petren, you return to the galley. You find Barilla, who is tending to your garden, your plants, your vegetables.
You are.
Who are? Oh, hello, Petren.
Oh, hello. These all seem to be thriving. You've got quite the green thumb, haven't you?
Oh, you try my best. I've learned quite a lot from you. Thank you very much.
Oh, really? Is this my teaching? That's I'm sorry, I've gone all embarrassed now. Anyway, I've come here for a serious purpose. Actually, we're you've probably spotted that we're approaching the town of Misery, and we think we're going to need to go in, and we were wondering what you could tell us about the town. For example, where are the Furball populations centered?
As far as I know, the Furbolgs were all taken down. They're digging for something. I don't know what it is, but they're trying to extract something from the ground itself. So, as far as I know, all the Furbolgs are below ground. I don't think any of them are still in what we once called Misery.
And how would we get to that region below ground? Are there any different entrances and exits that you're aware of?
I'm afraid not. The only one I know is the one that I escaped through, which is the main entrance.
And how did you escape?
Through using my Furbolg magic. But they had various areas where the magic didn't work. Magic was just dead in those areas. And they've also trapped the entire areas a lot as well. The traps that move you around, so when you step on them, you suddenly find yourself teleported somewhere else.
Right. And what do you put your success down to? Was it just pure luck, or was there some strategy that you were able to employ?
Oh, there's no strategy when you're down there. It's just a labyrinthine chaos. You never know which way is up most of the time, and constantly stepping on traps that move you around, separating you from your friends. It's horrible. It's like they know what other living creatures, the chaos that they feel and the panic and the anxiety, and they know exactly how to exploit it.
And these traps and these anti-magic areas, did you have a sense that they themselves were magical? Or were they somehow mechanized?
Well, I'm not sure I know the difference. They would definitely had mechanical elements, but they felt like magic. But my grandma always used to say that when you're out with a group of friends, you should never split up, because splitting up causes chaos. And the entire underground of Misery feels like it's designed to split you up.
Yeah, we've had some bad experiences with splitting up ourselves, says Petren. He's suddenly looking into the distance for a moment. Oh no, but that's very helpful, Barilla, thank you. Wait, one last thing.
Of course.
What is it they're digging for in there?
I don't know for sure, but I think it's metal. They found some ore down there that they think that they can process and use for something, but I don't know what it is. I don't really understand metal. I don't like it, really.
Right you are. Well, doesn't sound like it's going to be a lot of fun, but we're going to have to go in. At least when we bombard the town, it shouldn't harm any furbolgs, so that's something at least. Anyway, I won't trouble you further. I imagine this brings back some rather unhappy memories. I'll leave you to your plants. Thank you very much, Brella. It's been most helpful. And Petren wanders out of the galley, looking slightly perturbed.
And Barilla fondles a carrot, looking forlorn herself. Above the storm-racked skies of Athlon, the Order of the Heron readies its wings. The fleet gathers over Misery, engines thundering, cannons gleaming in the bruised light of dawn. What was once a home now lies in chains, and the Heron will see those chains broken. Their plan is precision speed. The bombardment will open the way, a storm of fire and iron to scatter the Sons of Chaos. Amid the chaos, the small, hand-picked unit will descend into the ruins, carving a path beneath the earth where the Furbolg are trapped. While the others prepare to descend into the dark, Gideon chooses to remain aboard the Sterling to guard the Furbolg Barilla. Sky Marshal Finnick, you issue your order and the fleet turns its guns towards Misery. The sky itself seems to hold its breath. On the poop deck, you are joined by Gideon, Barilla, Plex, Seeksorrow, Tok, Tick and Petren. You all watch as the early morning mist settles. From this distance, you can see the deep scars in the landscape and the outlines of former buildings. Everything that was once living has been replaced with machinery, digging grooves into the ground below, burrowing for something. It is an industrial scene of destruction or annihilation, with smoke belching into the grey skies above and the perpetual fires blasting from furnaces and pipes. Beyond this scar of a place are cliffs, recognisable in the shapes of the maps you've pored over on your long journey. And beyond those are the tall, dark blue-black waves of the relentlessly savaging sea. The devastation before you looks like the very end of the world itself. Welcome to Misery.
You've been listening to Dice Company's Small Embers, starring Dave Windust as Petren Oakflower, Charlie Blackadder as Vander Finnick, Alex Morrison as Seeksorrow, and Harry King as Talk, with Tom Patrick as your Dungeon Master.
The humans of Dice Company would like to thank the following sweethearts for their support. M. Corey Mack, Dave Patterson, Boy Genius, Sepulchre, Stennett, Marky B, Jenny the War Camel, Stephen Sikora, Nori Gosler, Mickey Arnold, Happy Daddy Scotty, Tika Rabbi Camel, Team Stay Toxic, Path Pursuit, Paris Pakar, Julia Zeno, Shovels, Queenie, and an extra special thanks to our Council of Rojan, the Red Right Hand, ShelbyKat, purveyor of exceptional dice, S.J. Phionics, Zeus Legion, Richard Ungermas, Mama Strange, Axel Runholm, and Chris from North London.
Introduce yourselves and tell us one fun fact about your characters.
Point of order.
Nailed it.
Okay.
First time.
Can you check your audio, Dom? To me, you sound slightly echoey.
What?
Ooh. I could be wrong. It might just be because I'm listening through a headphone. But just as you were speaking, I was suddenly thinking, is Dom's audio as good as usual?
Anyone else hear that?
Well,
Everyone else thinks
it's
that's
just got out, so I'm now just half light, half dark.
Yeah. I would say maybe it's not quite as good as usual.
This is a disaster.
I can't tell. Ever.
Mr. Morrison, you're absolutely right.
Oh, there you go. That's much better.
I was recording on my webcam. Oh my god.
I mean,
Oh my
Seeksorrow
God.
is inspired, right?
No pressure, but you've got to do that intro again now. Having nailed it.
I recorded it on Audacity, so... Plus, I think I got the chapter number wrong as well, so I probably need to re-record that. So when I said first time, I meant I got it wrong. Anyway, over to you clowns.
Are we still on me?
No, I was waiting for a Petren response.
Oh, sorry, Alex looked like he was about to say something.
Good morning, everyone.
I was looking at you wondering if you'd frozen. I think I was about to say, like, is Shag's frozen? Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. Alex had his, sorry.
I find it's easier just to jump in and talk over people. Unless you want Tok to do or Vander to do the interrogation.
I think we want Barilla to live.
But with how many fingers?
Another sad suicide after a brain invasion by Vander.
Lore.
Thanks for listening. Please consider supporting Dice Company on Patreon, where for the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to a whole other show, Extra Roll, as well as an ad-free listening experience. The Dice Company Discord server, along with our socials, can be found on our link tree in the show notes. If you enjoyed this chapter, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to recommend us to your friends. If you didn't like it, recommend us to your enemies. And we'll see you next time on Dice Company.
Do you want people, like, praising you?
Well, no, there is a lot of pressure, so maybe a compliment would be nice every now and again.
Hello, I'm Kevin. I'm looking for a new leader to worship, because right now a good leader is kind of hard to find in the world. That's why I host Tyrant in Training, an improv comedy podcast where each week I talk to comedians and other megalomaniacs about how they rule a country as a tyrannical ruler.
I do have access to a bomb that will destroy the world.
A new Tyrant is talking every Thursday on the Tyrant in Training show, everywhere you find podcasts.
I don't want to give you all my secrets. If I do, I'll probably have to kill you.